As you are aware, I have been hitting the issue of crime pretty hard. You also know that there is a clear and empirical connection between crime and the woke progressive Democratic leadership in the blue states and cities where crime is most prevalent. I have talked about the disgraces of Waukesha, Wisconsin, and Michael Schellenberger's book, San Francisco, Why Progressives Ruin Cities. Now, it's finally much closer to home, right here in Philadelphia, with Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner. If you fed the ingredients to produce pure wokeness into a computer, it would spit out Krasner, an extremely rich, white, progressive elitist who believes he has a fundamental right to dictate social policy to everyone else, ostensibly for the benefit of people of color. However, true leaders of people of color are people of color, like African-American former mayor of Philadelphia, Michael Nutter, who understands white, woke progressives like Krasner are wolves in sheep's clothing, not committed to equity, but political power. The issue was sparked when D.A. Krasner called a press conference recently to say with a straight face that Philadelphia doesn't have a crime problem, despite a record number of murders so far this year, 521. Krasner stated, and I quote, "We don't have a crisis of lawlessness. We don't have a crisis of crime. There is not a crisis of violence, but there is a crisis of gun violence." What? This is just the type of woke progressive speak garbage that is insulting to all human beings. To disingenuously suggest that murders by gun can be distinguished from other murders is ridiculous, especially since overall murder is at record numbers. Thankfully, former Mayor Michael Nutter called his own press conference and answered far better than me. Quote, 521 people, souls, have been vanquished, eliminated, the most since 1960. I have to wonder what kind of messed up world of white wokeness Krasner is living in to have so little regard for human lives lost, many of them black and brown, while he advances his own national profile as a progressive district attorney. I'd like to ask Krasner, how many more black and brown people and others would have to be gunned down in our streets daily to meet your definition of a crisis? How many more children and teens have to die in record numbers to capture your attention and be considered a crisis? As someone who has lived the experience of a black man in Philadelphia and worked at the highest levels of city government, I see that police and judges are trying to keep Philadelphians safe, but Krasner is not. No matter what he says, the city is experiencing a crisis of violence and murder. If he can't see that, he is unfit to serve the residents of Philadelphia.